everybody, this is Joseph Oakley of Stokely Films. I'm the co-writer, the director, and the creator of the new slasher sensation Specimen 6, which is now on video on demand on Vimeo.com for both rent and to buy for very affordable prices. And it was my very delightful, very titularly, amazingly beautiful co-host, Mariana Chipoletta. Mariana!
Joseph!
What show is this, Mariana Chipoletta?
Joseph, this is the No Country for Joe and Mariana, and I have hot sauce in my hair.
Ah, yes. She also has it down in her cleavage, too.
Yeah,
you see, hot sauce gets a little itchy in your cleavage and in your private parts and stuff like that. We were filming a little short today, and Mariana and my also very gorgeous, beautiful friend, Amy,
also very titular.
Amy Christine Malin. We shot a little thing for a little movie that hopefully will go towards that movie. That's all I can say about it right now. So, needless to say, it was pretty awesome seeing her cover Amy and vice versa in hot sauce and dancing and having fun. I like being a movie director. It's the best job in the world. But today, Mariana, we're here to present another episode of No Country for Joe and Mariana. We want to focus on one thing in particular, and what is that one thing in particular?
We're going to review The Roommate.
Yes, right there.
1992 short that thought to be lost and is now in our hands. So
what's great about The Roommate is it's presented through SOV Horror. So Tony Mazziello, he has his SOV Horror line of movies that he distributes, and sometimes he finds these really rare lost shot on video horror films, and it's amazing that he gets these and then he distributes them in beautiful packages like that. It looks all worn down, but it's not actually all worn down, as you can see. And that's the back cover. He actually has these really great inserts and everything like that. So Mr. Ice Cream Man is there, it's because that is from the same director that did The Roommate. Mariana Chipoletta, could you tell us a little bit about The Roommate, which is an 18-minute short?
It is an 18-minute short, and that's why this is going to be a spoiler episode. So if you don't like spoilers, stop listening, go watch it real quick, and then come back.
Yeah, you should go buy this actually at SOV Horror. It's usually pretty cheap. I think Tony
this one
usually
was $6.
$6 usually. Yeah, go buy it and go support some independent artwork and everything like that. It's great. Tell us the storyline a little bit.
So the story is a gentleman comes to this big mansion-style house looking for a room to rent that's in the paper. And when he gets there, they immediately allow him to move in, and they kind of should have done a background check on him, I think.
This is true. So, yeah, usually what would happen is, like, if you got a roommate coming or, like, somebody that wants to be your roommate, you'd usually do a background check, make sure they're not, like, kind of a creeper or something like that. But in this one, or the murderer, but the guy shows up and he's kind of like a little handsome and everything like that, and he has good hair. He has rather amazing hair.
He does.
I think he does. And he's fit.
He's like a 90s greaser dude.
Yeah, but well dressed, you know. And so they immediately say, well, you can just move on in. I think it was probably 10 o'clock at night. The guy shows up and he goes, oh, I love this place. I'm gonna stay here.
Right now.
Like, right now is what he says. Yeah. And you're like, oh, there's something a little different here. And so
he also picks like the worst room.
Yeah. So he's getting the tour at the beginning. And I want to say that I really thought this film was really well shot. I've watched it twice now, and I'm impressed by the camera work. There's this long shot as they're going up the stairs, and before they end up cutting to a couple different shots, and then coming back down the stairs, and then there's the cat that's just laying there. I don't think you can really work around a cat. You just got to put him in a shot. I know how that is. And the cat's name is Mercy, by the way. And they work down the stairs, and immediately I thought, these people are very talented. I don't know. They must have gone to film school. They know their movies. They know how to do a shot. Very lovely. And it's all shot on video. So it's like, you know, regardless of what the quality is, they're shooting what they're shooting on. They're still putting forth a really brilliant amount of talent, I think. Mariana Chipoletta.
Yes, Joseph.
Could you stand up just a little bit? Just a little up. There, see, there you go. I want to get some subscribers. That's what I'm saying. So what happens? What else? What else happens in The Roommate?
Well, Joe. Well, after they do the tour, Michael is the killer. Okay, so Michael is the one that's being shown around. He's the one who's the newcomer. Kevin, he seems to be kind of like maybe not the head of the household, but he's definitely the most personable of all the roommates. And he shows him one more thing. It's a gun inside of a closet. Now, first of all, probably maybe not a great idea to show a total stranger the gun in your closet.
Just met him 5 minutes before. You're like, by the way, there's a burglar around, and I'm going to show you where we keep our gun.
Because, if the burglar came in, we'd be like, hold on, like 1 second while I get the gun.
I mean, that guy was probably the burglar too.
Yeah, he may have been. But that's a thing that we never really get is like his motivation, right? Like there is a scene where Kevin snoops into his suitcase a little bit and finds some documents, but we can't really see what they are, mostly because of the quality of the film. But it's really hard to tell what the motivation of this killer is.
Yeah, you don't know. I think he's kind of purely driven, kind of like a psychopath would be in other films, because I'm drawing a blank at the moment of other films. It's very hot. So he shows up, and I think knowing what, if you get a DVD like this, you think, okay, well, this guy's going to kill. There's going to be bad people. They show up right off the bat. And so is that there is little seeds, I think, presented throughout the film about that this guy is off. So before he's shown the gun, he's introduced to this other roommate at the table in the kitchen, and they're sitting around eating, and the food looks disgusting. There's eating some sort of stew, and you can keep hearing like them clacking away,
scraping the empty bowl.
Isn't it interesting? I think it might be intentional of the filmmakers to be kind of like messing with you with these sounds and everything too, because it's kind of off-putting. And
also when he's like doing pull-ups and there's the cat's just meowing.
Yeah, the cat keeps meowing and meowing. Should
I just keep doing this?
Yes. And so I think there is you can tell that talent that's in the film, and layer on layer, I think those things might be intentional to throw you off. So you're scraping and clinking and clacking when they're eating stuff. And he's talking to this other roommate who's trying to be friendly and show him his comic books. And I love the fact that this guy is showing him early 90s comic books, because this is kind of like what I grew up on was X Factor, which his t-shirt was, and then The Punisher at the time, which was, I think, Jim Lee doing the artwork and John Romita Jr. And so I see these things. I mean, I don't think it's intentional. I think they're just like, here's comic books at the time, because it was 1992.
You know what's interesting about 1992? The greatest event in history happened in 1992.
What was that?
I was born.
Oh my goodness. That's incredible. Oh, something to keep your mind on. 10 years after me. That's why she keeps saying, counting all the grays in my beard every time we see each other.
Pull them out.
She pulls them out. She goes like, oh, that's a nasty one. I'm just going to pull that out of there. She calls me old man and stuff like that.
So in the 90s, back in the Stone Age, did people just like allow people to come live into their houses?
It was a different world back then. Somebody would show up and they'd be like, hey, can I stay in your closet for a week? And you'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Just come on in. Yeah. And then you would show them your guns right off the bat.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That's just something we did back in those Stone Age days. And tell us more about it, Mariana.
So when Kevin is going around in the middle of the night, I'm not sure why he wakes up in the middle of the night. Actually, I think it was right after he takes a shower. And I have to say, okay, horror shorts have a plethora of women in showers or naked women and things like that. I am a little upset that we didn't get the full shower experience with Kevin, because he's a twink, but I would have enjoyed it. I mean, I do enjoy it later when he like takes off the robe and he's like ready.
Yeah, Mariana, we were just sitting down and watching it, because we like to sometimes we watch something like alone, and then we watch it together to kind of have that communal experience of sorts. And she just kept like screaming about, she kept wanting to get juicy, whatever that meant. And then something about, she did. And then whatever about taking off his clothes, and it's like, where's my damn shower scene? I want to get juicy.
Is that how I said it?
That is. Sometimes she can't remember this stuff. She goes into a trance of sorts. Yeah,
the missing shower scene. I'm on the hunt for that missing shower scene.
Okay? So maybe that's the SOV lost Dale part. Yeah. So
after this missing shower scene, he goes about looking for Michael. He finds him in the cellar, and he tells him, "Hey, there's other rooms," which I heard as "there's other robes."
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. There's other rooms.
I want to get juicy.
I'm just cold-blooded. That comes back later.
Oh, it does.
So you can tell there's definitely something off about this dude. Kevin goes back to doing something upstairs, and this is when Michael starts going around, and he performs I think he's already performed his first kill, hasn't he?
Yeah,
while Kevin is in the shower.
Yeah, he killed the guy downstairs, the roommate Doug with the comic books. And I love this part. So Doug is sitting there reading another comic book, and it was World Without a Superman, which is that's why I remember 1992. I remember it now, 18 years later, because I know this gorgeous gal. But 1992 was actually the year Superman died. And it was a big deal for kids back in the day like me, and Doomsday killed Superman, and this was the comic books following and the fallout and everything like that. So I was like, I own that comic book. I love that comic book. And but yeah, so he kills the roommate by bashing or did he shoot him in the head?
No, he bashes him. And so this is where that great cinematography comes in, because you see kind of like a double take. And I can tell it's the same shot, but I don't know if it's supposed to imply that he hits him twice or if it's just a double take of that same
I think it
hit.
might be like kind of like a mind fuck sort of thing, or like kind of that state of mind sort of thing. And it was more kind of an editorial choice. Mm-hmm. Like, that's so good, let's do it double, kind of stick, and it stuck.
Yeah, it did. It absolutely stuck.
Yeah.
Another scene that really stuck, and I don't, there's nothing going on in this one, but it's just a really great shot of a full moon being revealed as the clouds are parting.
It's a good cutaway. Mm-hmm. It's what we like to do, like when we're working in the editing bay, somewhere we need to cut away from something so the next scene's not too quick in there, is we like to be like, okay, well, what footage do I have? And sometimes I'll cut away to, Mariana, could you kind of like lift up a little bit? I'll cut away to these, two big shirts, and then and then sometimes it'll be a moonshot. So that's like an editorial, kind of break it up a little bit.
It's mostly these.
Yeah, mostly two big moonshots down here. And so that was a really this is a very well crafted, very well edited film as well. What else happens, Money?
Well, then we know that Ronnie is in the house, and he's paranoid, and he likes to lock his room. And Ronnie is actually played by Matt Hale,
the director,
who is directing. Michael is able to break into Ronnie's room as Ronnie is sleeping and takes care of him while Kevin is snooping. So this is where he actually gets loud and actually pumps the shotgun and shoots him in the face. I'm assuming it's the face.
Yeah, they have some blood on his face and everything like that. Yeah. Like when the other roommate discovers him, they takes a comic book off his face, and there's some blood. It looks like pretty good fake blood, doesn't it?
I thought so.
Yeah, I deal with fake blood a lot.
Yeah, and this is where Kevin now is like panicking, and he's trying to get a hold of his other roommates without alerting Michael, the killer. And this is where he takes off his robe. And we come to a fight scene in the kitchen while Kevin is trying to dial, I'm assuming 911, but he might just be dialing his mommy. I don't know.
Well, it's like this intercom sort of thing, because this is kind of like...
First it's the intercom, and then he goes to the phone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's calling mommy. Okay.
He's calling mommy.
Yeah, and so this is a very big house, and so there's a lot of room to move around and run around in. I mean, it looks like a mansion to me. I'm a poor boy that grew up in a small apartment. I mean, anything more than like 2 stories and 4 rooms looks like a mansion to me. But this looks like it has like 8 rooms.
Well, yeah, they when they do the house tour at the beginning, he opens quite a lot of empty rooms.
Yeah.
And you have to assume there's other roommates there too. So you've got at least 3 roommates, plus this guy that's coming in, and then a bunch of other empty rooms. So I'm thinking like 7 or 8 rooms at least.
That's a match to
Yeah.
me. And the next thing that happens after that is they do have this confrontation in the kitchen, which I thought was pretty cool. They had good coverage of them wrestling and fighting and everything like that. And then something happened. Oh, because the guy comes from behind him and he like tries to choke him out, but it doesn't work, and they end up fighting and stuff like that.
Hits him against the wall, and Kevin is able to headbutt him. And this is when Kevin kind of takes over, takes the gun, pumps it, tries to shoot. It's empty.
What is he? He says something really cool.
And he says, "How's this for cold-blooded?" Unfortunately.
Oh, he says, "I guess I'm just." Oh, yeah, yeah. And then he says,
"I guess I'm just cold-blooded." Is when.
That's right. And then he says, "How's this for cold-blooded?" That's right. You're like,
it was a super cool line, but then the shot doesn't go off.
Yeah. See, but that's interesting though, because the killer obviously would have tried to shoot him right off the bat instead of choking him, right? It would have been faster. So
it would have been. So maybe there was only one.
See, so maybe he knew the killer definitely knew there wasn't a bullet in there, and then that guy was like, "It's the early '90s, and here's my one-liner."
But if you think about it, back to our motive thing, if he is just doing it to like, just because he likes to, maybe he doesn't like just shooting them point blank. Like maybe he likes it when they know they're about to die.
So
maybe
it's
that's
kind
where
of
the high
sexual comes from. Thing. Like you get there, like you choke them out, and you're like, "Oh God, that's so." And like she says, "Juicy."
Yeah, that's totally something I said.
And and so okay, tell us the rest.
The rest. I found it a little confusing, but at the same time, I totally get it. So Kevin goes and knocks him out, or thinks he's knocked him out, and then he walks over to the front door, and instead of leaving, he just opens the front door and sits there, kind of like letting the bad air out, right?
Yeah.
But my first thought was double tap, like make sure that motherfucker is dead. Or if you're gonna open the door, fucking leave.
Yeah.
But no, he just sits there. Do you want to give us our climax?
No. Let the people discover it.
Okay.
I think we should at least leave them. There's something that happens. There's this moment that I did want to talk about where the roommate Kevin like is digging through Michael's like briefcase, and he finds some papers, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, there's
like
definitely something.
There's something that he discovers about Michael that's obviously like, this guy's probably a psychopath or something, but we as an audience don't get to see that.
And I think that's actually, in a way, because it's a short, I think it really lends to that, like, why did this guy come here? Why is he doing all this?
Yeah.
And the satisfaction comes from Kevin knowing why, but the audience never does.
I think that was a really smart choice. I think there's a lot of smart choices in this film in general. I think I could watch this 3, 4, 5 more times, to be honest, and still get more stuff out of it. Whether that stuff is actually there or not, and I'm just
This is our interpretation.
Yeah, this is our interpretation. Plus, Mercy is such a cute kitty.
Yeah.
I like to go see Mercy.
Yeah, I don't know that she's still
around. I think 28 years later, probably not.
No, but she'll live on. In the roommate.
In the hearts. In our roommate. So go to SOV Horror and go purchase this film for $6. It's totally worth it. It's rewatchable. I can't wait to get Mr. Ice Cream Man. Yeah. I want to order that. So there's a bunch of SOV horror movies I'm waiting to order when I get paid.
I want to know more about Mac Hale, and I want to know more about his work, because this like you said, this was really well crafted, and if this is what he's done with a 18-minute short, I want to see what he's done with something longer and more complicated.
Absolutely. So this is a classic. Go check out SOV Horror again. Tony Mazziello. Go check out some of our other couple episodes that we've done before with Tony. And we talk about some really great films like Metal Noir. And it's very hot. I'm having a hard time.
It is very hot in here.
Mariana's very juicy today. So
I smell like hot sauce.
I dumped a lot of hot sauce on. It was wonderful. All right, everybody. Well, this was a great episode. Thank you for joining us, Mariana Chipoleta.
Yes, Joseph.
Could you please lead the people off with something in Spanish today? Because it's so hot that things that are spoken in Spanish seem very spicy, very saucy. And today was a saucy day, dumping hot sauce on you. So tell us something in Spanish.
El día está caliente.
Oh, Jesus. What does that mean?
The day is very hot.
in many ways, and also very juicy.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we'll talk to you soon. You have a great one. And join us here again for another episode of No Country for Joe and Mariana very soon. We got lots of cool content coming up. Make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff, and then you get to see these.
Subscribe.
There you go. We'll check you out. Bye.